Ever walk into an ice cream store and there's so many flavors that it makes it near impossible to choose one? That happens to me all the time. I do love ice cream. That's also how I feel when it comes to making music. There are so many different options and softwares and opinions. You can make good music with any of them, I think. So today, for the sake of science, I guess, I'm gonna use them all.
Little did he know of the pain that was to come.
I just couldn't take using that software anymore. So this is the gist. Every single music making program that I can get my hands on, I find, I click, I download, I buy if I have to. I have little money. Each one I'm gonna use to make a song with, and your role here is to judge which one is the best. Opinions, comments, I wanna hear them. Also, shout out to Elliot is a cool guy. His video is where I got the inspiration to make this one. Elliot, you're an idol to us all. Ableton Live, this is my program of choice, probably the single thing that I know more about than anything else in my life. Infamous for the fact that it looks kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. The Ableton Suite full package is incredible, but anything less, you're kind of missing out on things, so it definitely isn't cheap. It also has Max for Live, which are a whole bunch of extensions that do pretty much anything that you could ever think of and more. There's literally one called Rage Quit. Yeah. It does what you think. Anyway, I've been listening to a lot of trip hop, loungy, kind of breakbeat style stuff recently, so I thought I'd give that a go. It's a nice rolling groove. Let's just arrange a little bit of this. I honestly didn't want to spend too long working on this song, but nonetheless, this is what I ended up with. Logic. Now Logic is awesome. I think this is loops, right? Apple loops. You know, I'm just gonna drag in everything that sounds kind of interesting to me. Maybe I can put that in there somewhere. It has pretty much all of the tools that Ableton doesn't, aka any audio editing tool that is somewhat good. That was a betrayal. Logic is great when it comes to handling vocals, instruments, bands, microphones, vocals. It's also good for electronic music. I've just never really liked making electronic music with it. Oh my, that is unusable. It's Apple's flagship music software. It's really not that expensive as well, but it's only available on Mac. Also, I feel like I'm always waiting for loading times. Come on, it's loading again. I actually think it's gonna crash. Help. But yeah, I rebuilt this track multiple times. I've probably had 3 attempts at it, and it ended up sounding like this. So these softwares are called DAWs, and one thing to keep in mind is that we have multiple different types of DAW. We have a more modern type Ableton style, we have the more all-rounder Logic style, and then we have a more traditional type. Let me introduce you to Pro Tools. By the way, all of the music and sound effects that you hear in all of my videos are all hand produced by myself and copyright free. They're in the description below if you want to get them. So it's categorized into moods and it's designed to be a complete pack for every different type of music you might need. There's also a crash course included to teach you how to use the pack and improve your skills in audio. Okay, I've got no idea what any of this is. Welcome to what is considered the industry standard because it's made specifically with mixing desk compatibility. So if you own one of these things, then you probably own Pro Tools, and you're probably also just not watching this video right now, let's be honest. So it's made for studios. The way that it handles audio is probably the best out there, but that didn't stop me from using absolutely none of the audio editing functions and only using instruments and MIDI. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how to make a Pro Tools user cringe. How do I zoom? How do I zoom? difficult. I'm gonna look for like some sort of lead. Okay, we got something. Hit record, play. I enjoyed, I struggled, I problem solved, but overall, pleasantly surprised with the results. To me, FL is like the flashy, visually appealing one of the bunch. The software is really nice and smooth to use. I don't know how to do this the correct way, but I'm just gonna drag these in. It has a nice step sequencer and mixer window. It's known for things like gross beat, visualizers, and the interface just makes your music look good. 25 minutes left on the clock, and I've got no idea how to cut. The only thing with FL is that it feels like quite manual. You have to route everything yourself, and it just works differently to any other DAW. Have to click one of these. Oh, there it is. It's behind. What the? So in that way, it feels a little bit less intuitive. And I select, and I copy paste. No. And I drag. No. But this track ended up being quite minimal and housey, and I was actually quite pleasantly surprised. Cubase. I attempted to download Cubase and I couldn't. I tried contacting support. At the moment, there's like a new version coming out and the trial isn't ready for it. Notably used by Hans Zimmer. I don't know, you might know him. It's a really good all-round software and it has composer capability, I guess. It was actually the first software that I ever used. It is quite expensive though. We move on. Reaper. This was known to be like the flagship free DAW because it has all of the functionality of everything else. It's like the DAW's DAW, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Well, that's all in the past now because it now charges $60. So not free, but cheap, but also kind of feels a little bit cheap. It seems like everything is really intuitive so far. I can just copy paste. Oh, there's a marquee selection. Select all of these, click here and paste. Yeah. Warp really easily by holding Option and then dragging this around, which is great. You can also zoom out with plus and minus. I think all plus and minus keys should be mandatory zoom. Change my mind. We gotta talk about the stock effects. Oof, not so good. I think I like Reaper, but it's kind of hard to decide. It's a little bit more flexible, but like less smooth. It kind of feels like it's stuck in the past with a bit of a modern sprinkle on top. Look at that animation. That's great. Overall, I did enjoy it. It was just a little bit tricky. Bewildered by it. I've never seen this before. I haven't seen it in any of the other doors. We have Luna here in front of us and I'm going to see what happens. This is a free DAW made by Universal Audio that I had no idea existed until making this video. And not gonna lie, I was skeptical. Zoom, I found the zoom. Need to learn how to warp. All right, so we've got some warp markers here. It's transient markers right there. Why can't I just grab them? Command. I have to hold command. I have to hold command. Yeah. Oh no, it's moving all of them. Oh, you just do it down here. Of course. Of course. It's simple. Okay. I got this. I'm gonna pitch this. Yes. They let you pitch really nice, but you can't get it exact on 5 semitones. Oh, you can type it in. All my problems are solved. There's something about the groove that I just can't ignore. That sounded like a cheesy song lyric. Something about the groove that I can't. My computer then just decided to crash. I opened it back up, nothing was lost, everything saved. Good job, Luna. That's all I can say. But I was very surprised in the end. This is a really good software. It doesn't feel free at all. Also, I kind of lost my mind to this feature where you can like adjust MIDI notes without actually opening the clip. How good is that? You can just, I've never seen this before. There's a bit of a vibe there and I'm just gonna call it done. Let's have a listen. I cannot stop thinking about Bitwig. It feels a lot like Ableton with a little bit of modern pizzazz and some slight different features. The interface itself is great. I'm really liking Bitwig. I'm really liking it. Bitwig feeling very intuitive. Also, I don't know why all audio editors don't work like Bitwig's one. It retains the audio clip. So essentially you can loop some audio and then make edits to it and it doesn't break the loop. Genius. When it comes to the zoom, I'm critical on the zoom, you know that. It's important, all right? Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna be learning about how to scroll in Bitwig. So first off, you need a finger, one of these things. So I'm gonna go to the keyboard here and we're just gonna put it on there. We're just gonna put it on there. And then second thing, we need one more finger. So we need two fingers here. And I'm gonna put it, we're gonna go over to our mouse here and get that last finger and do this motion. That one or this. Subscribe for more tips like this. But that aside, I have nothing bad to say about Bitwig. It's incredible. Now to resume losing my mind. Let's just say this. Audacity is like that old friend that you haven't seen in forever, but they haven't changed at all and they're still the exact same as they were. The only problem is that you've changed in the meantime. It's a classic program. I was ready to crush Audacity. I thought it was gonna be a walk in the park. I was wrong. I was incorrect. Just starting it up, it decided to scan every single one of my plugins, which is, I thought, you know, fair enough. Like, that's okay. It took 45 minutes to do this. Crashed, and then decided to do the whole process again, in which I spent 10 minutes spamming the skip button. I know, I've got too many plugins. I know that. I do really like the authenticity of how it looks. It's kind of nostalgic. I also really did enjoy the way that it works with audio, but very buggy overall, and I was kind of struggling to make something, so it's time for a synth. I can't do this without a little bit of help. The end result was quite rough, but this is what I got. Ah, Mario Paint. This program slaps. Oh my. It's free, it comes with all of the stock sounds that you need, no download required, easy to use interface. I mean, look at this thing. This is a work of art. Oh, that baby. Sounds like a vocal sample. It's like so good. Works so well with the groove too. That, my friends, is a hit. Okay, so from this point on, my friend Sam came around to help me out with the next software, but naturally we found ourselves in Mario Paint.
Are you wanting a break here in this section?
No, I did that so we could copy it.
And the track that we produced actually was a bit of a vibe, not gonna lie. So prepare yourselves because this next software is called a tracker software. The one we're using in particular is called Protracker.
Yeah.
I'm not actually very experienced with Protracker at all. I use Ultimates, man. But anyway, I know that.
Tracker softwares are like the prehistoric DAW, the dinosaur of the DAW world, you could say. It's pretty much a big sequencer that works by scrolling down as opposed to scrolling across.
Yeah, nice. Oh, nice.
Even though it feels more like Minesweeper than a DAW, it was fun to use and we ended up with something simple. Okay, this is PreSonus Studio One, and I kind of like the layout already. It feels somewhat intuitive, I think. I like a big band. Oh. Okay, so let me explain something. How do I say this? So, my experience with Studio One. You know when there's like a toxic relationship, but you're so wrapped up in everything that you can't see any of the red flags? Well, there was a lot of red flags. But I really tried with the relationship, you know? Looking back on it, I kept justifying things, kept telling myself that it was me, and like, maybe it is, I still don't know. Yeah, so far, everything has felt a little bit weird. Just a little bit, which is fine. I mean, yeah, I think that it hasn't been as smooth as some of the other programs that I've used. Still needs to prove itself. For instance, it was the only program which I couldn't intuitively work out where the loop is. Is that a loop? Is that a loop length? No, it's not. On the website, there's lots of good features, like maybe I just didn't use them. There was a nice stereo delay, but ultimately, yeah, I kind of lost my mind using this program, unfortunately. Filter? Yeah, filter? What is going on? What is... I don't want to see that. It doesn't let you select. I don't understand that at all. I don't even know what to say in terms of words here. I just have been confused this whole time. I literally cannot continue. It was smooth sailing until now. You know what? I genuinely didn't think that this would happen. It's stupid of me to think that, but I need a break. I need a break. Anyway, this is what I made. Yeah, this program is just not for me. Sure, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just justifying things. I don't know. I'm in Reason now, and I'm excited for Reason. I've heard a lot of good things. I like the way it looks. Reason is pretty much just this rack, and then you can sequence it, and you've got the timeline where you can put everything together. I really love this retro feel interface. I like this. I like it. So Reason does want you to sign up to a subscription plan kind of service, and it did charge me $1 for the trial. It also wanted to know everything about me. That being said, it's amazing. Reason has so many good features and it just like feels unique. Oh, Shift Tab. That's an Ableton command. I like that. Okay, I haven't even made anything. I'm excited. There is a ridiculous amount of vintage effects and instruments, and I spotted one that I couldn't not use. Auto Techno. I like the sound of that. In which I then proceeded to spend the next 30 minutes tweaking that one sound. Damn, that's got a vibe. Can I take like something out of that? I just disconnect things until... I've got no idea what's going on. Oh, these are this. Oh, so I assign the filter. Something like this. I loved using Reason. It was a lot of fun. This track ended up being quite like a progressive style house beat. Davinci Resolve is my editing software of choice. It is not intended to make music with. It doesn't have a grid or tempo or it doesn't have lots of things. It does have a really nice mixer though. So it also doesn't have any instruments or MIDI, so everything had to be audio.
It's got audio capability. So like you can put effects in there, you can do automation.
And everything had to be hand aligned, which is a bit more of a challenging process than I expected.
And if you really want to crossfade, you just make one happen, you know? You want something, you just make it happen.
Every swell or fade that you see was done by hand. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in and kind of make each bass note like swell with the kick a little bit. So just fade it in like this. So it sounds like it's like aligned with it. In all honesty, it's just manual. Now we're getting velocity, baby. Look at this. Look at this functionality. Wow.
There was quite a lot of tweaking, but it was actually really fun.
Another program. I'd never heard of this program before I just downloaded it.
Tracktion Waveform is a free Mac-only software for band recorder, electronic producer, podcaster, house of worship. I didn't realize that was a niche. Apparently there's like a virtual DJ mixer view in this software. I'm quite upset that I didn't find this.
Oh, this is looking very Ableton to me. All right, here we go. Now it's getting a bit more tricky. Kind of like this MIDI editor though. Slice. Not loving how it handles like timeline audio editing in this. Not bad. I mean, it's kind of bad compared to the other one. This is the cheesiest, corniest thing ever, but I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I'm moving on. I just want to like delete this song like right now. Ugh, my brain hurts. Keep going. Start a new software. Learn a new software. I've done too many of these. I've done way too many.
I also downloaded Cakewalk by BandLab and realized it's Windows only. I have a Mac. Same with Acoustica, Mixcraft. GarageBand didn't work because it wanted me to update my Mac. I'm not going to do that. Also, a side note, the audio messed up in the recording for the next few, so what you're hearing is camera audio. Yeah. So all of the softwares so far have been quite free range, if you will, in that they require you to do everything yourself. They require things like effort.
Effort, you say? This revelation? I find it disgusting.
But Serato does things for you. So after many hours of recording, I was quite happy to just have things simplified a bit. Serato auto-generated some drums and a drum kit for me, which I then tweaked a little bit. Oh, it comes with audio samples. It also slices the samples for you, and then you can just like mess around in the sequencer and arrange each slice to make a beat. The major strength of this program is sampling. It's definitely geared towards beat makers. It was fun using Serato Studio. I enjoyed the process. It's probably a really good tool if you just want to chop up sounds you have in your library. I just didn't really understand how to program things myself. It felt a little bit limiting in that way, but you probably can. Oh, Serato Visualizer. It didn't work, but here's the song. LMMS. Well, this was an obscure program to say the least. It was released in 2004 To give context, this is what a computer looked like. It was also the same year as this. This and this didn't exist yet, which is also exactly how it feels to use this program, but for some reason, I really didn't mind it. This is what it looks like. Yeah, not what I expected in this. I guess it's just like the timeline. Oh, that's nice. Audio file processor. Look at this thing, man. I don't know why this window appeared. This is the most confusing program yet. I've got no idea what's going on. The only way I was able to trigger anything was to use these weird step sequencer things, but I was able to make it work. Don't get me wrong, this program was obscure and quite painful to use, but for some reason, I liked it. LMMS, it's unique. Let's just say that. This is Ardor 8, originally released in 2005. This software still gets updated, which is baffling to me, because it feels quite, old, weird. It just felt weird, but that wasn't the actual problem. You see, I was slicing up a hip hop break, surprisingly enjoying the audio workflow until I came across perhaps the most unique quality of this program. Need the transient though. It just crashed. No save. Nope. Right, I'm gonna give myself another 20 minutes in this software, and if I can make something, then I can, and if I can't, then I can't, and that's just it. But this time was different. I knew the workflow, I had the practice already, and might I say, I was flying. Just kind of have a feeling that it's gonna keep doing that, so I'm just gonna move on. Yeah. Adobe Audition, is it made for beats? No, I don't even know if it has a grid. I just want to slice this. That's all I'm trying to do. Trim, split. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I wasn't a big fan of the layout. I'm not a huge Adobe person in general. It has lots of features, none of which I actually needed. I don't want this. It all seems useful for the purpose that I'm not using it for. It took me like quite a decent amount of time to figure out just where pitch and warp were. Oh, there's a pitch knob. Oh my God, you can stretch from here. That is huge. I'm gonna edit this drum loop as well and give it a bit of steez. Give it a bit of steez, you know? Just give it a bit of a spice up. Verdict, I'm quite happy if I don't have to use this program again, but honestly, the track wasn't too bad.
This is WavTool, a free AI-accelerated music production app.
Which of course begs the question, can AI do the music thing? I'm gonna answer this question right now and just say no. There's definitely some cool things about this software. You can enter a prompt. Underground music. Apparently that's underground music. Minor, dark. I guess we can go with that. The problem is that the things that it does are usually just not very good. And I found myself just like trying to edit them the whole time. No. No, regenerate. Almost. It's kind of hard to do that because the program's workflow was like based around the actual AI itself. Actually programming things myself in this software is actually quite tricky. I found that you can ask it to do actions for you, like a delay throw. I feel like it's nice having some elements of AI to do boring tasks like set up a track. I really like the concept, but the music wasn't up to scratch. It wasn't professional sounding, you know? This is Metasynth. Metasynth is an awesome sound design and music tool, apparently used in films like Dune, The Matrix, Star Wars, Transformers. I did not know this. This program is wild and incredible. I spent over an hour just messing around with sounds, and I could have spent a lot longer. It was just fun.
Motion blur. Oh.
The thing is, you can't wing this program, which is what I've been doing the whole video. It's complex. It's not intuitive, but like it's not made to be intuitive.
Can I just like draw in the drawing looking tool? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm afraid.
It's a uniquely terrifying beast of a thing. I really want to give the time to like properly learn Metasynth for the sound design capabilities that it has.
I would totally love experimenting with this and then like using it in another DAW to like compose it. Using this by itself is kind of hurting my brain. Oh, okay.
Welcome to Metasynth.
I love this. I love this program. This is great. Metasynth, you've defeated me. I would have to do a lot more research and probably buy the full version. And I might do that. It's weird, it's wacky, it's bizarre. It's Metasynth. That's what it is. Whoa. All right, we move on. We move forward. We onwards. Onwards.
Renoise is a modern take on the tracker software we saw from earlier. Yeah, it kind of looks like binary code, but it actually is really fun and surprisingly intuitive.
This is what it is. It scrolls up and down instead of scrolling left to right. Now I can select where I want my kick drums to play. So put them on every fourth line. And then over here, we can create different scenes and it sort of flicks between them. Maybe let's just make this the hi-hat.
Seriously, this is one of my new favorites.
Wow, Renoise is really cool. I think I might have to purchase Renoise. Like, I really like this software. And yeah, this is what I made. Let's have a listen.
So what's the verdict? My favorites overall for electronic music, Bitwig. For vintage style sounds, Reason for being free, Luna for sound design, Metasynth, and for something just a little bit different, Renoise all the way. But this is just the beginning. See, there is a much more contentious topic at play. I ranked all of my favorite video game soundtracks. Yeah, you should watch it. Or maybe you should subscribe. And just for you, because you stayed,